T-Wise, do you want to take a look at that? Yeah, it's kind of like an AI thing. Yeah, and she's not the first one. I may or I may not, Zeb, because if this woman is this fucking okay, it depends on the circumstances. You fi- I'm curious too. All right, let's go with this. If I go over time, I go over time. I don't fucking care. I've got a built-in buffer after I finish stream, so if I go over, I go over. So let's take a look. This happened fairly recently. The the truth behind the fake Brad Pitt catfish scandal. I know some of this, but I'll let them cook on this because there could be more than I know about. So let's check it out.
How can anybody fall for this? News has been rampant recently about the French lady who left her husband because a fake Brad Pitt sent her a poorly created AI image of himself in a hospital bed, needing close to $1 million for his fake cancer treatment, which she paid, and obviously the whole thing was a massive scam. Obviously.
We all would have
fuck.
seen this coming from a mile off, right? Sure. Now, I'm not Brad Pitt. I'm DJ Slope from the YouTube channel Slope's Game Room. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because today, I'm here to
Yeah,
tell you
that's the one thing that I heard about, is that she basically nuked her entire bank account and left her husband for this fake Brad Pitt AI scam. And she doesn't feel bad about it. That was what I had heard. Now, the last part, I don't know how correct that is. We may hear differently here. That was the one thing I heard about, is that she didn't feel bad about it. And she's just upset because she, lost her money. I don't believe that she was upset that she left her husband. Now, again, I could be wrong about that, and that's what we're going to find out in this video. Maybe I heard incorrectly.
that there was a whole lot more to this story that wasn't reported on.
As the story came out of France and was originally reported on by the French news media, most of what has been shared has been nothing more than puffy news headlines, which begs the question again, who the hell would fall for this? Thankfully, with the help of my French-speaking wife, we was able to dig a little deeper and find out how this whole thing happened and what came after in one of the biggest catfish scams in history. Starting with the victim,
there she
a
is.
53-year-old mother from France who was unsurprisingly extremely social media illiterate. Well, back in February of 2023, Anne signed up to Instagram and started following several family members in order to share and see, I don't know,
That's
whatever
my question,
53-year-olds
Andrea.
share and see on Instagram. Now, I understand that the vast majority of you, 99.9% of you, will know how to use social media properly. However, I will need to explain over a few obvious things here to get you into the mindset of a 53-year-old woman that's never used sites such as Instagram. Such as...
Jurahan, I'm pretty sure she got scammed and that's what caused her to leave her husband. It was like she drained their bank account and left her husband because she thought she was going to be with Brad Pitt. I think.
When you sign up and you have an extremely small following list, social media sites need to fill up your timelines, and as social media has grown over the years, more often than not those timelines are filled with paid for accounts posting all types of utter nonsense. We all hate to admit it, but we've all watched that stupidly long cooking video or that obscure DIY video in order to see how it ends.
Wait,
of course,
what? I'm sorry, I'm watching the right side here. You guys can't see it. What the fuck
long
is this
cooking
person
video
making?
or that obscure DIY video in order to see how it ends. Of course, you're never happy with the ending. Heck, you check the comments and see that nobody was happy with the ending. Still, because you did watch it to the end, you just told the social media platform that you liked it.
Wait, well, now I'm seeing what the fuck's going on the left. What in the actual fuck? This person is making
To
high
the
heels.
end, you just told the
This person is... Number one, you butchered a nice pair of heels here, you cunt. but this person is making high heels out of dolls? Yeah! This
You
looks
just
like
told the social
serial
media
killer
platform
shit.
that you liked it and that you want to see more. And day by day, that feed starts to become less about your little niece's ballet rehearsals and more about how to make mashed potatoes from Pringles.
The fuck? You dumped in 2 cans of Pringles sour cream and you made mashed potatoes. Oh! How fucking poor are you?
And it was during a ski trip in the French Alps that Anne saw a pretty basic picture on Instagram of Brad Pitt and gave it a little double tap. That's Instagram's way of giving a post a like for all you non-food selfie takers out there. Now this is the part of the story where the news sites tell you that fake Brad Pitt got in contact with her. However, it actually wasn't fake Brad Pitt, it was fake Jane Pitt, Bradley Pitt's mother. Now, of course, this still seems an unlikely scenario that virtually everyone watching would instantly dismiss. But yep, that happened. In fact, during one of the only interviews discussing this, Anne was completely unaware of the verification process that accounts like these should have alongside their names. She even stated that she too thought it was fake. It's ridiculous, she told French television outlet TF1, but I'm not used to social media and I didn't really understand what was happening to me. My
first thought question is, if this woman thinks she's speaking to Brad Pitt's mother, did she tell any of her friends? And if she did not those friends probably go, sweetheart, this is bullshit? Yeah, exactly. Did she tell no one about this? Because anyone, even people that are not tech savvy, shall we say, would immediately look at this and go, honey, that's not the real person. You're getting scammed. Anyone with half a fucking brain would tell her that. Even if her friends are as dumb as her. There would be at least one person go, this is a scam. This is not real.
Tapping on that picture, the people behind the fake Brad Pitt account were notified of someone that probably didn't realise that this was a fake Brad Pitt account. Over the next several months, that distrust that Anne had for fake Jane changed to trust, as the two continued building up, in Anne's eyes at least, a genuine friendship. And with the divorce between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie becoming more well known in the media, it wasn't long before Jane started suggesting that she would put Anne in contact with Brad. It's a woman like you that my son needs, she once messaged. And that was when fake Brad Pitt finally messaged Anne.
Well, yeah, it's nice. That's the other quotient. And you know what? My guess is she probably hid this from her husband, because, as we will find out, she will happily leave her husband for Brad Pitt. So maybe she was kind of, that speaks to, okay, how bad was this woman's marriage? That maybe she was secretly hoping this was real, and her brain deluded her into thinking it was real as an excuse to leave her husband, perhaps. Not even the thrill of a secret friend, Josh, more like the thrill of a secret lover. Because, guarantee you, she wanted Brad Pitt to take her 2 pounds out. Okay, let's not mess around here. This was secret lover, not secret friend. No, the news lied about that? Okay, he sets that straight. Okay, Dora, that's why I said some of what I've heard may have been incorrect. So let's find. So if it's something different, I want to hear it.
Again, several months later, and again, I'm sure most people watching would have never let it get this far. But at the same time, again, several months later, I'm guessing that at least...
Okay, way off track here. What the fuck is this model doing? I mean, I know this is like stock footage from Slopes. I realize this is stock footage, What the fuck? What was the direction for this model on typing on the key on this computer? She's literally just like drumming her fingers on the keys, and it's supposed to be whimsical, sensual typing.
Months
Off
later,
topic, but
I'm guessing that at least some of you will probably know of some distant family member that may have fallen for what has happened so far. The manipulation up to this point has been completely downplayed by most
No,
people
I have not,
covering
Revan.
this story, and sadly, it's about to get a whole lot worse for Anne.
uh-oh.
As when fake Brad Pitt did eventually message Anne, he wasn't interested. This would leave Anne, who was recently divorced by the way, to feel vulnerable and embarrassed to think that someone
Wait.
When fake Brad Pitt did eventually message Anne, he wasn't interested. This would leave Anne, who was recently divorced by the way, to feel vulnerable and embarrassed to think
Oh, she's recently divorced. So she didn't? Yeah, she's already divorced apparently. Okay, that I did not know. That does explain a lot. Okay, so my initial information that I had heard was incorrect. Like the initial information I heard is that she left her husband for Brad Pitt. That information was wrong. She was already already divorced and recently. Okay, this is starting to make a bit more sense now. It doesn't make it better, but it does make a little bit more sense.
that someone like Brad Pitt would ever be interested in speaking to
Yeah,
a
exactly,
nobody
Seb.
like her from France. The scammer would bounce between Jane and Brad, messaging Anne as fake Jane continued to pressure fake Brad to give real Anne a chance. Keeping up?
Wait. Were they in like a fucking group chat? Is that what's going on here? They're like she's in a group chat with supposedly these two? Is that a thing on Instagram? Or I don't use Instagram. So someone please tell me, are group chats a thing on Instagram? Okay, there are. They are. Okay, again, I don't use them, so I have no fucking clue. I don't know, Atadashi. Doesn't sound like it. Sounds like Western media were using bad translation of French reports. Andrea, it would not be the first time. So that's entirely possible.
I'd like to know more about you, he told Anne, but I'd like to know whether you work in the media, as I'm protective of my private life. Over time, fake Brad warmed to real Anne, and the two became friends and even started up a bit of an online relationship. Now, I just condensed a whole lot of information into just one sentence, but in actual fact, fake Brad, real Anne, and fake Jane all chatted for about a year and a half. During this time, he would send her pictures that have not been publicly seen, as well as a picture of a fake passport to prove that it was him, and even the odd AI-created video clips of himself saying a few words to the camera, further proving in Anne's eyes that this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the real Brad Pitt. The scammers...
wow. This is really... Yeah, number one, this was a long con. This guy was really working a long con.
But if she's already divorced, how did she drain the account afterwards?
Well, Brevin, I think that's what we're going to find out. Maybe it was her own account. Maybe it was alimony that she was getting from her ex-husband. I don't know. This is what we're going to find out. Because, again, this is the priming of her pump is occurring over the course of a year. And... also, the fact that the scammer was able to do AI image generation in AI movies, yeah, this should scare people. That this AI, that this scammer was able to do AI generated videos, short little videos, using Brad Pitt's image. This is a cautionary tale right now of how things are going to get. And it ain't gonna be good.
also redirected
This
their
is true,
phone number
Atanashi.
to look like it was coming from America. Over time, he would send poems and romantic messages.
Yeah, absolutely. You can AI his voice, but fuck, I've AI chat. I've done it on stream. I've done the AI for Arnold. I've done the AI for Jigsaw. You know, yeah, AI is coming quite a long way.
That were specific to Anne herself based on what she was sharing and what she was telling him. These scammers really did do their homework. This wasn't just some scripted thing.
Zeb.
This was a guy or a girl pretending to be Brad Pitt and building up a real relationship with Anne with the end goal of obviously taking money from her. This is not what you may have heard by badly translated news sources, but according to the agency.
Okay, hang on. Woman duped in sending Brad Pitt £700,000 after falling for ridiculous AI scam pics of star getting cancer treatment. Fake Brad Pitt said he could access his funds because of his ongoing divorce with Angelina Jolie. I've seen the articles. I never read the articles themselves, but that's the articles that that is like the headlines that I've seen.
According to the agency FindMyScammer.com, who helped Anne during the aftermath, this is actually what happened. What you may have also heard taking money from her. This is not what you may have heard by badly translated news sources, but according to the agency FindMyScammer.com, who helped Anne during the aftermath, this is actually what happened. What you may have also heard is that the, spoiler alert, the 830,000 euros that was eventually stolen from Anne was done in one big swoop, when in actual fact, during that 1.5-year relationship, Anne ended up paying several smaller amounts, such as 10,000 euros, to help him through customs.
Okay, now this is making more sense. This is making more sense where it's basically a trickle feed of cash to him. Yeah, like I kind of did assume it was a trickle feed like that. Yeah, I did kind of assume that. Now, the rationale of why? I'm curious because why is she trickle feeding, thousands of euros to him over the course of a year? I am curious about that. Yeah, and Redmond, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't remember exactly because this is not something I really keep up on. I thought they separated like 10 years ago, but I think maybe the divorce only recently got finalized. I think? I'm not 100% sure though. I thought they did a separation at first, and then they actually went through divorce.
Several smaller amounts, such as 10,000 euros, to help him through customs. Information is a little scarce with how this money was stolen, what reasoning a multi-millionaire like Brad Pitt would give for needing to borrow 10,000 euros, or how many times these sort of things went down. But what we do know is that it did happen at least once with relative ease for the scammer, and that was more than enough for them to realise that they could probably do it again. There are so few men who write you this kind of thing, Anne told the news station. I like the man I was talking to. He knew how to talk to women. It was always very well done. Which finally brings us to the main event, when fake Brad Pitt was unfortunately diagnosed with fake kidney cancer. According to Cancer Research UK, about half the people born in the UK will develop cancer at some point in their lives. And if you are somebody that has never had to deal with that yourself, think yourself lucky, because Anne was someone that had dealt.
Okay, what the fuck is in the water in the UK that half the people living in the UK are gonna develop cancer? People in the UK, what the fuck is in your water? Jesus! I mean, I suppose, Atanashi, that's just a stark figure I was not expecting to hear.
With it. Anne was a cancer survivor herself, someone that had beaten brain cancer, and she's also someone that lives with HIV. And for anybody out there that has gone through a similar struggle will know, pulling on those sensitive threads is likely to result in a seriously vulnerable individual. Which is why when you look at the...
Okay. So she's getting like triple tapped with bad shit right now. She's a recent divorcee. She's had brain cancer. And she has HIV. Holy fuck, they got the trifecta of vulnerable victim here. Jesus. That's... Okay. Again, this is starting to make a lot of sense how she could have been conned. She has had a lot going on in her life. And literally someone just being nice to her would be enough. I mean, you could chalk this up to temporary insanity. Theoretically speaking, granted, she's a grown woman. Logic should have stepped in at some point in her brain and said, "Listen, sweetheart, you know this can't be Brad Pitt." But people that are vulnerable, they can do some really crazy and stupid shit sometimes.
These terribly doctored Brad Pitt images of him in the hospital, you're probably now looking at them with a slightly different viewpoint. Yes, they look ridiculous, some more than others.
Some of them yes, some of them no. Oh no, Duran, I know it isn't. Like, this one isn't bad. That's actually not terrible, the A on that one. This one's fucking bad. This 100%, this one 100%, let me shift it over a little bit. This one 100% looks like someone literally cut out a magazine like cut out a picture from a magazine and taped it on top of another person's body. This one is bad.
Some more than others. Heck, these two are the
That one's
exact same picture reversed. Hang on,
There.
so are these two. In fact, this one is the main picture from his Wikipedia page. But again, without knowing the backstory, the struggles that Anne was going through.
Yeah, and you know what? That's another thing. I'm not sure if one of you guys just said that, but like Durahan, you just made me think this. She's been through cancer treatments. She had brain cancer. She's been through the treatments. She should have known he doesn't look like that. She should have known that he would not look like that if he was in the hospital getting treatment for cancer. That's unfortunately a big negative on her. That if she's been through the cancer scare, she would know damn well that when you are in the hospital being treated for cancer, you don't look that good, even if you're Brad Pitt. So that's kind of a big negative in the check mark. Well, I see, question is mentally unwell or vulnerable, Atashi. I'm not sure which he qualifies for it yet. I'm still leaning towards vulnerable, but the fact that she's making this many boneheaded-ish mistakes isn't helping her cause.
You asked why so many people in the UK are getting cancer. It's speculated that it's because of the massive chalk deposits in the country.
Really?
Chalk deposits more often than not also have pockets of radon which leaches above ground and affects the population.
Okay. Interesting, Andrea. Thank you. Fascinating. Okay.
Through, or the fact that she was already convinced that this was Brad Pitt before those pictures were ever sent. Yet, sure, you and I probably would not have fallen for this.
I can imagine,
But at
Duran.
the very least, it is a little bit more understandable. Also, not to get nitty gritty, but this isn't AI. Well, not for the most part. It's just photoshopping and bad photoshopping at that. So, as you all well know, she did stump up the cash, and along with all of the other amounts of money that she had paid up to this point, the final amount was €830,000. If the previous build up to this didn't at least give you the understanding as to why she did what she did, how about adding onto that that fake Brad Pitt's fake agent, who also got in touch, sent her his passport as proof too, letting her know that fake Brad Pitt had been speaking incredibly highly of her. Good old fake Brad Pitt's fake mum also pleaded for Anne to save her young boy. And far more sinister than that, fake Brad Pitt's fake doctor made sure to let her know that if she didn't pay for her medical bills, which were also faked and sent to her by the way, then she would be responsible for the death of fake Brad Pitt.
Okay. This is starting to get fucking crazy. Yeah, this is starting to become obvious scam material. When it was like the fake mother and the fake Brad Pitt were already dubious at best. Now we're getting fake agent and we're getting fake doctor. It's like this is all because there's fake doctor coming in saying if you don't pay for Brad's medical stuff, he's going to die. It's like, yeah, I'm having a very hard time trying to run defense for her at this point. This is no, they don't, Raven. That's kind of the point that I was alluding to. A doctor will never fucking say that. A doctor will never hell, a doctor, even in the United States, will not withhold treatment from any fucking patient because they can't pay for it. They'll just treat them and send them to collections afterwards. But they'll never withhold treatment if you can't fucking pay for it. And yes, I know the Hippocratic Oath would prevent him from doing it anyway. That's a whole different thing. It's just holy this is getting so fucking ridiculous. I'm having a very difficult time trying to come up with any kind of defense for this woman's actions right now.
I wonder if Brad Pitt will play fake Brad Pitt when the eventual movie comes out. And for those that don't know, the reason fake Brad Pitt gave as to why he couldn't pay for this himself was because pain-in-the-arse ex-wife Angelina Jolie had gone and frozen his bank account since the divorce, hadn't she? Bloody Lara Croft wannabe.
That's not a thing.
In order to sound like Brad Pitt, the scammers even went as far as to use AI-generated voice changers, just like the one I'm using here.
Now, once the
That was
scammers
pretty
had got
good.
their money, strangely
That was
enough,
good.
they didn't do a runner straight away. My guess is because they thought they could probably squeeze a little bit more out of her. However, by this point, the cracks in fake Brad's story had started to show after Anne saw a news report that showed Brad Pitt, as in the real Brad Pitt, dating another woman.
Wait. You're gonna tell me that over the course of a year, this woman who thinks I'm seeing even more cracks happening before this point. She'd been talking to supposed Brad Pitt for a year. Brad Pitt makes the news. How is it that the second he said, I need money for doctor bills, how in the fuck did she not immediately go to the news and look for stories that... Because if Brad Pitt gets checked into the hospital for cancer, that's making news. No, this is... I can't. I cannot... Exactly. You're right, Atanashi. It's... Why wouldn't she, Zeb? This is natural human curiosity. You are supposedly speaking to one of the most famous men in Hollywood. This one of the most famous men in Hollywood is telling you all sorts of things and then suddenly says, I need you to help me because I'm in the hospital for cancer. And this is not like, one-time text and she gave the money and then the next day she's seeing it. This is like, they stretch this out over time of the cancer thing. All those frickin' pictures that the scammer sent her. The various different pictures of him in the hospital. That's over the course of time. You don't think the second he went into the hospital that wouldn't be on every news outlet across the fucking world that he's in the hospital fighting cancer? And her, being a naturally curious human being, wouldn't receive a text saying, I have cancer, and immediately go, holy shit, and dive for the news? And see like, is this a news story? Like, this woman is living in, this is going beyond being vulnerable. We are into stupidly delusional. Said, he could have said that, it still would work. Because over the course of her day-to-day life, someone would have said it. This is Brad fucking Pitt. Okay? Brad fucking Pitt goes into the hospital for cancer. That becomes a common conversation amongst people. This is like, yeah, this is like willfully ignorant. This is fucking stupidity. It's just, I'm sorry, I can't defend her anymore. Unless something else comes about here, I cannot defend this because the level of blinders this woman has put on is too much. This is deliberately being blind to logic and everything around you.
When she frantically started reaching out to fake Brad Pitt to question this, he explained that what she saw was nothing more than a scene from an upcoming film. And in a sinister yet brilliantly well-timed manner, he completely diverted her attention away from all of that, by accusing her of leaking to the press that they were a couple. Confused,
oh my
forgot all about that other woman, and started to plead to fake Brad Pitt that she wasn't the one that spread the news. Which was when fake Brad Pitt sent along the following news video.
Oh God.
According to Mr. Brad Pitt, he is in an exclusive and loving relationship with one special individual who holds an exceptional place in their heart, who goes by the name of an individual.
What the fuck?
Somehow this
No, that's not deepfake. That's 100% fucking AI generated, not deepfake. This is 100% fucking AI. Painfully AI. The uncanny valley is strong with this one. Holy shit. How the hell did she fall for this? A blind person could tell this is AI bullshit. Oh yeah, Cortana, that was like weirding me the fuck out.
obviously fake news report still didn't break the illusion for Anne, as she tried to comfort the reassured fake Brad Pitt that it wasn't her that leaked the news story, as she got new messages from fake Brad Pitt's fake doctor that fake Brad Pitt is now chugging down pills in order to try and commit suicide after she did what she did. As if the manipulation couldn't get...
They went with the they went with the self-deletion route? Jeez, how this? Okay, first and foremost, this woman I think is mentally unwell at this point to have fallen for this. It is a miracle, after all this, that this woman herself did not self-delete. That in and of itself is a miracle that she didn't go that course, because this is an obvious mind fuck. I think they may have actually. I think that they'd already scammed her out of money. I'm wondering if they were just like trying to go the route of let's get money out of her or get her to self-delete so we can get away with this scot-free. But Andrea, as a counterpoint, your father is 80 years old. Okay, 80 years old and 50 years old, even if you are not overly familiar with sci-fi or technology, is a big difference. Okay, your 80-year-old father It's God bless him. I'm guessing he's probably, perhaps maybe he's struggling a bit with reality. This woman is in her 50s. Okay, while she is older, her logic center should still be quite functional, theoretically speaking.
Any worse. Thankfully, after this, the realization that, you know what, this might not be the real Brad Pitt finally started to
We
sink
have a
in
winner.
for its final time. According to Anne,
Wait. I talked over him. Hang on.
it's the realization that, you know what, this might not be the real Brad Pitt finally started to sink in for its final time. According to Anne, she had doubted many times before that this may not be the real deal, but every time she did, that would be when something like the news report would be sent to take her mind off it. Thankfully, it was her daughter, who was younger and therefore wiser to the world of social media, who was the person that laid down the facts and explained to her that this is all fake. And that was the end of the relationship.
She in a mental hospital now for trying to end it, so go easy on her.
See, Dura, that's what I was afraid of. That's exactly what I was just talking about, what I was afraid of. Like, it is, like, was this scammer trying to get her to self-delete? Because that last part where they was talking about, like, the doctor supposedly texting her saying that the fake Brad Pitt was trying to down pills to end it, that immediately made me fearful, like, oh God, are they actually trying to, are they trying to are they trying to basically have her have a mental break to get her to self-delete and cover their tracks? But this new edition has me asking the question, where in the fuck was the daughter this whole time? And I'm going to have to go on the assumption that she kept this from her daughter and didn't mention any of this, which is a possibility that, I know Brad asked her to keep it private, I know. And that's why I said it is a possibility that she kept this from her daughter. God damn it. Yeah, it's... especially with the money thing, like, that might come up somehow, and the daughter might question, like, what happened to the money? Or something? I don't know. Oh my God.
Between real Jane and fake Brad Pitt. But unfortunately for Anne, the worst was yet to come.
For the most part, Zeb, I kind of do.
After reporting the hackers to the police, who didn't really get very far, Anne decided to reach out to a popular French news station in order to tell her story, supposedly to protect future victims from falling into the same trap. Obviously, with a story as crazy as this one, the station jumped at the chance, sending out an investigator to work through everything that had happened in order to create a nice beefy news story. And the reason you're not seeing footage of that particular news report is because it no longer exists. Supposedly, that report just reported on what you've heard so far before you saw this video and not much else. A dappy French chick who left her husband for a fake Brad Pitt because someone sent her AI created images of the actor in bed claiming to have cancer. Now again, I haven't seen this news report, as Anne, who asked for her face to be blurred and her name not to be shown originally, was furious with what was reported. And yes, let's play devil's advocate here. It's very likely that a lot of the information has left that report and gone via the Chinese Whispers Express, ending up with what you've heard before you watched this video. But considering that news station has now deleted that news story ever since it went live, it doesn't make them look too good, does it? And
oh God, Asmund reacted to this. Oh God, this is not gonna help her. So these journalists lied, which probably did not help when it came to contributing to this woman's mental state. They made a lie. They lied, made her look far worse than she was. And then once the story went viral, they deleted it. Fucked. And yeah, Esmond got a hold of the story. God help her. I wonder if he's gonna play the clip.
And has now become the face of ridicule, someone who has quite literally lost it all. And she's been made fun of for that very reason. Even Netflix France had a little dig too when they promoted 4 films that feature Brad Pitt. No, really, the real one that you could watch right now for free.
God. Fucking Netflix. Look, the woman got scammed. This is like, what the fuck? Like, the Asmund reacting to it, that's fine. It's what Asmund does. He pulls up news videos. It's what Asmund does. It's what Charlie does. Hell, it's what I do. I will pull up a news article sometimes and react to it on stream. That's the nature of this. Fucking Netflix calling this woman out like this, even though they didn't actually use her name? Everybody already thinks Netflix is shit. This is not doing them any favors for their image. This is not helping them with their image whatsoever. It's not clever. And honestly, it begs the question if this woman has a legal, like, great, this is in the EU, court system is very different there. So it begs the question, does this woman have a legitimate case to bring against the news agencies that published the initial false report about this, and Netflix France for basically smearing her like this? Netflix France, I doubt there's enough to go after them for that, but I imagine that she might be able to go after the journalists. European news outlets specialize in yellow journalism to an extreme level. Laws in the EU around what a media outlet can or can't say are much looser than in the US. Okay, so legally speaking, she probably couldn't go after them. Because that's what I said. The laws in the EU probably are very different in this regard. Well, shit. So this woman can basically take an emotional beating, an emotional psychological beating like this, and nothing she can do about it. That sucks.
Currently, as of the scripting of this video, January 14th, 2025, Anne is under constant supervision after several failed suicide attempts in hospital and is being treated for depression. A lot of this information came from the Legend report, which included an interview with the good hackers who did discover the location from where the scammers operated. And sadly, according to them, these reports of the cases come in quite frequently. He explained that this particular group of scammers aim for elderly or vulnerable people using sentimental elements when creating their scam.
Hi, Tanashi, do you mean you're not convinced that she was mentally well? Oh, you're now convinced she was mental. Yeah, yeah. Given the totality of everything that's being presented to us right now, yeah, you've got the combination of recently divorced, surviving brain cancer, HIV positive. So she was already in a depressive state, very likely. This comes along and taps into that depression, basically. Yeah, okay. We're going on a fucking roller coaster ride with this poor woman at this point. Yeah, all signs right now are pointing to that she was mentally unwell, and this unfortunately is pushing her beyond the edge. And especially with those journalists. Though that dog shit journalism that basically painted her as not only an idiot, but as a vile person that left her fucking husband for this fake Brad Pitt, which was a bald-faced lie. Yeah, she is highly victimized right now, and it's really sad.
And even found a similar operation that included a fake Keanu Reeves. In fact, there are about 30 victims.
I'm sorry? That's supposed to be Keanu Reeves. Huh? This is supposed to be Keanu Reeves. Dude, I was looking things up. Not even blue. It looks more like Benedict fucking Cumberbatch than it looks like Keanu Reeves. You would have a better time selling this as Benedict Cumberbatch than Keanu Reeves right now. What the fuck?
In fact, there are about 30 victims in total that have been caught out by this particular group. But of course, Anne is by far the biggest within the world of celebrity identity theft scamming. And what's crazy about this is that the good hacker from findmyscammer.com knows the exact location of the scammers. This information has been passed on to the police, and the organisation is working for free to help Anne with this entire ordeal. The only silver linings moving forward are: 1. The French website Litchi, which looks to be a kind of French GoFundMe, has been set up to help Anne get back on her feet. And 2,
that's good.
The fact that Anne is taking her bank to court as they did not give the proper protection that they should have done by law for such a large amount of money. As when such large transactions are made, the banks are supposed to get in touch to find out if there's any money laundering going on or possibly. However, when she sent payments abroad, she did not sign or authorize liability charges for those transactions. Who knows how much, if anything, Anne will get back from this horrific ordeal.
I'm not surprised police are doing nothing, Duran. I'm not surprised.
Hey there guys, thanks for checking out the video. This has been hardcore to get this video out so quickly. Obviously I wanted to jump on this when everyone else was talking about it and actually give the full story as to what went down with this whole thing.
Right, I don't know.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed this bit of a different take on the normal kick scammer videos.
No, Zeb, he didn't say it. Durahan, I guess, has kept up with it.
To make a video on it. But either way, this is the part of the video where I'd like to give a massive shout out to all of my Patreons, all of my YouTube members that allow me to make videos like these, with an extra big shout out going to the following Patreons and YouTube members: Ye Old Hamburglar, Vikeko, Vitas Varnes, The Sneaky
Could have been Elwin,
I
don't know.
Sir Nilsson, Ryan Burford, Richard Alderjic, Retro to Next Gen, aka Lou, Paul.
Okay, I'll stop there because he's going to be shouting out a whole bunch of Patreon people there. Okay, yeah. I was not expecting this, chat. I thought this was gonna be kind of funny. I was not expecting it to go this route. We went on a fucking roller coaster on this one. No, we didn't do too bad. We had a good ending yesterday. What are you talking about? We did a good ending yesterday. It's not two bad endings in a row. Hey, don't put me in jail because I like being in jail. I like being in jail. Yeah, I mean, it was a bit sad, but it cleared up. You know, basically, it on the positive side of this, it did clear up what the news media said that Asmongold was covering was bullshit. That the news media basically slandered her. And it didn't play out the way it did, and we got to a more factual basis of what occurred and how it affected her and why it affected her. So, at the very least, we were able to do that.